Hi, how's everyone doing in this really crazy, intense energy we've had at least just over the last 2 weeks, but it's really been since the summer has started. And I really want to talk about that. My guides, my higher self source have been like, you have to get on YouTube, you have to get on YouTube. So I'm here finally going to share some of the things that I have been experiencing, some of the things I've been coming up with my own clients that I have seen that then apply to multiple clients, including myself. And if that happens, then it's usually more broad than just me and my clients, okay? And this time that we're in, say the end of May to maybe the beginning of September, is the tipping point. This whole year of 2024 is about you letting go of the old self that you have become through many lives, who learned how to just survive, who learned how to watch their outside world and react to it to make them be safe. And in that, we have manifested worlds and realities that limit us, that prevent us remembering who we are, our true potential, what our gifts really are, what could really be possible with the energy of the experience of Earth. And this year is really about getting rid of the last pieces that are going to prevent you from jumping from your new self to old self. Old self to new self. And in July is that tipping point. And these last 2 weeks have been insane for energy. I mean, sometimes they bother me, sometimes they don't. Many of my clients have been totally washed where they can barely function because of the energy in just the last 2 weeks of July. And it's because we've reached that tipping point energy. If you're here in the US, July 4th is the Independence Day, but this year it meant more than just for the country. It's about your independence. And this isn't about blaming anyone outside of you, because you create your reality. So even all those things have roles, which I will talk about in a later video. But this tipping point is where you are choosing, like you've come to that fork in the road and everyone gets to make that decision. There's no one who doesn't. You get to choose. Which road are you going to take? Are you going to stay on the same road that you've been on potentially for tens of thousands of years, where you live through struggle and sacrifice and lack and all that, where you learn through that? Your soul can very much learn through those experiences, and your life is all about just that, your soul learning from the experiences that it creates in your reality. Or if you happen to live in that old reality still, the world showed your soul what it could experience. Okay, but now we're at this point at this 2 weeks of July, and there's a new fork. Now, this fork is super important. I don't know if we've ever really kind of been at this place. I've not really looked at that. That could have been where you get to be a new version of yourself, where you experience more joy, more peace, more abundance, more freedom, more expansion, more fun, more play, more adventure. And it is truly the embodiment of your true self, of who you were created to be from the very beginning, before all of this traumatic stuff started to happen on planet Earth, going all the way back to Atlantis. You get to make that choice. You have free will. Choice is but free will, okay? And it doesn't matter whether you have learned all the lessons or if you've completed all of the healing. There's still going to be time for that. I am finding that the closer you get to embodying that new self, that healing's faster. You don't have to dig as much, it just goes. Now, in my work, I have my own energy healing modality called Self Alchemy, and you work with your higher self to understand where in past lives these things have happened that have caused these repeating patterns throughout your life that limit you. So part of that transfer from old self to new self has been about going through those layers, understanding what they are, understanding the choices that I have made or my clients have made in past lives that have impacted their experience in this one or even other past lives, so that they don't have to experience again in the future. And part of this switch from the old self to the new self is turning away from all of the noise. And right now, I'm sure many of you are aware there's a lot of noise in the environment outside, maybe in your own home, a lot of chaotic energy, fire, hot, that electrical energy. And it is because this energy is trying to transmute, not just through you and your part in it, but also on a collective level. And you have to decide in this moment which one you're going to. And many of you have already chosen. Maybe subconsciously, your higher self has made that choice, but many of us have done the work so that we're doing it consciously. And that's one of the biggest blessings that I see coming with this new self. We have lived tens of thousands of years where we have created our reality subconsciously by making choices that we weren't consciously aware of, by not being fully aware of our environments and really what was going on and truly seeing it for what it was. Where in this new self, in this new reality, new life, you are remembering how to consciously choose. And that is what makes it special about how you create reality. And that means that, yes, you get to change whatever you desire. Now, in this new fork, it's all about love. It's about the frequency of love. This is not conditional love and is not unconditional love. It's probably closer to unconditional love, but love as a frequency as it just is. And there's no distortion energy around it. It's love and peace. So this new fork in the road is the energy of going towards that. But in that, or living that energy, right? But in that love energy, you get to play and be more free, and things just happen quickly. Some of the things that have been happening to me in the last couple of weeks, I'm just like, this is crazy, but awesome at the same time. And it's because I'm starting to remember how to exist or be in that love energy and that new life and self that I have chosen to experience. And now I'm guiding other clients to get to as well. And in this energy that we're in, now we're going to start to switch. So now we're going to the new self part for the next 6 months, but there's still integration. There's still things that have to be processed out. Things have to be brought to the surface, and not necessarily out there, but within us. And in future videos, I'll talk more about how the world is a mirror. It's a mirror of us individually, and how that creates your reality. But in this video, I really want you to understand what's happening with the energy. Now, we can focus on all the politics and the climate and all the things that are happening out there. And not that they're not real, because they are, if you've chosen them to be in your reality. But this is really about focusing on you. If you can consciously remember that you have choice in what you experience in your reality, everything changes. There's nothing that you can't have as long as it's in alignment with love, as long as it's in alignment with your soul's path. Things can get tricky there, but I'm going to tell you that if it's something that isn't in alignment with your soul's path, there's actually something better. So don't worry about that. But as this turmoil energy with the solar flares, I think Earth's core is slowing down and starting to rotate in a different direction. If you're energy sensitive, you're going to feel that. And that's part of Earth's rebirth. And it's affecting how we spin as well, because we live on Earth, right? But this is all part of that old new switch. We're going to this old new switch, and you get to choose which side you want to be on. It's not really a side, like which fork in the road do you want to take? There is no middle road. For many of us, we have been walking that fence line for years, if not decades. And I can say I've been there, right? Where I want to be this new self, but the old self was still holding on, the job, the money, the struggle, hustling, all of it. And I couldn't fully commit to the new fork. Well, that middle road is gone now. You have to choose. It doesn't mean that if you choose to stay with the old, that you don't get another window at some point to get to the new. It's just where the majority of us are being asked, which of course has a greater purpose, to understand and really start to tweak it so that we can get back to the experience that Earth was meant to be from the very beginning. If we think about Lemurian, it was really supposed to be school in a sense, but living from a place of peace and joy and free will and all the things. So where are you? Have you made the jump to your new self? How do you feel about that? Are you still struggling with things? And the thing to know about this new self, old self, is that you have to let go. You have to stop trying to push for the exact thing that you want. You have to stop trying to make it happen. You got to stop forcing it. You literally have to be like, okay, I want this, universe, done. But the difference between that and say 3D manifestation is many of us would beg, plead, we'd feel like we'd have to show that we're worthy and all the things. But the minute you think about what you want, it's created. And that's always been true. You are the creator of your reality. So the minute you think about, I don't know, you want $10,000, it happened. But we struggle with the actual manifestation of it into physical reality. And there's many, many, many reasons why that is. All fixable, but many, many, many reasons for that. And one of the biggest ones we get in our head. We constantly think about it. We constantly tweak it. We keep changing the order. We worry about not having it. All those things prevent us from getting it in a nutshell. But in this new self way, we have to surrender it. We have to surrender it to the universe, to allow the universe to show it to us. And we have to do the breadcrumbs that come. The breadcrumbs won't change. I've tried, but yet you still have to keep going. So not only are you on this old self, are you off of the old self and into the new self, but have you fully surrendered to your new self, which is your highest version of yourself that you can access at this time, your new life, and can you surrender it to source or the universe, whatever you want to call it? And here's the thing, know 100% that it is already yours. And when you do that, magic can happen. If you have an issue and you don't know how you're going to solve it, or just surrender it. I have I'm trying to remember what the first example was that happened this weekend. Oh, so we lost our internet on Friday, probably around 1:30, and by 10 o'clock that night it still wasn't on. And we got a technician to agree to come out the following day between 1 and 5. The problem with that is I had made dinner reservations for my husband's birthday at 5 o'clock, and it was an hour away. So we had to leave at 4 o'clock. So in the past, my experience with technicians have been that they come really late in that time span they're supposed to be there, right? Like 4:30, if not after. So I was like, well, I really need internet for like my business and all those things. But at the same time, knowing that I had made a reservation for like a large party and all of those things, it was like, okay. And I just heard surrender. Let us have it. And I did. I let it go. I had a couple of moments. I heard let it go. And that technician was here at 12:30. But if I had worried about it, I would have manifested that they come at 3:30, 4 o'clock, or even past that. And we would have had to reschedule potentially to Monday, making it so that internet was out all weekend. So that's one example of many that I've had since I've really chosen to surrender. So where are you with that? Choosing to be your new self, choosing your new life, surrendering them all to source, and surrender the things that you worry about and the things that you struggle with and the things that you want with source. And then watch the magic happen. I'll tell you, it's really cool. So let me know how you're doing with that, where you think you are, where you're struggling with letting go of the old self, and I'll talk about it. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and I'll talk soon. Bye for now.